Here is a question for you. Would you ever ask someone their political opinions on a first date? Get this story. A woman wrote to Miss Manners saying that within a few minutes of meeting a man for the very first time, he asked her several pointed political questions. And when she declined to answer, he got up and left. So, Jennifer, what do you think about this?
Okay, I mean, I don't want to imagine what it would be like to be single and having to go on dates. A. B, because I would be terrified. B, I really enjoy political differences, and I think that should be the question is okay, if we're gonna have completely different views politically, can we still be in love? That's the question. Not do you believe in what I believe in? Can you be a robot and follow exactly the belief system that I have?
Sometimes don't you feel like similar ideologies sort of leads to attraction rather than attraction, then having to have the conversation of being oh, do we feel the same way about
honestly,
these big things?
At my age, having grown up being Indigenous and Jewish, I've come across the most difficult political battles in conversations with people that I love so much.
Oh, interesting.
And I am a huge fan and believer that we can still come together despite our differences.
Yeah.
And attraction is it's primal. There's something else there. I hope. Yeah. I really hope. Otherwise, just be business partners.
Yeah, I think it's really important what you're saying too. This morning we were talking about this before the show. Someone on our staff, Courtney, I hope I can say her name. She's on dating apps, and she said that a lot of dating apps you can choose your political affiliation. You can say that you're conservative, moderate, or liberal. And she said that she wouldn't even swipe on somebody who's described themselves as moderate. And I thought to myself, I would describe myself as moderate. So I wonder what that interpretation is meaning today. And I get it. There might be this assumption that if you're moderate, that you might not hold the same beliefs as you if you lean one way or the other. But I probably would do the same thing. I probably would think, okay, I'm really lefty. I was a hippie, going to, I'd want to be with the person who's super into fairies and whatever. I don't know what I was into, but rainbows and hearts and unicorns. And are we missing out on certain? Are we ending up being more siloed and more divisive when we don't enter into those kinds of gray areas with our lovers? I don't know.
I think that, for sure, I think that in the ideal world, of course, you can't be with someone who's exactly the same as you. You're you, right? Who's gonna be a carbon copy of you? However, it just reminds me, when we're talking about dating apps and dating right now and political affiliations, of some of the wild dating stories that came out of the January 6th insurrection. Did you hear about this?
No.
So there are two super wild stories that I was following. So one story was, there was a woman who Tinder matched with somebody, and so they hooked up on January 5. He stayed over, and they clearly had a nice night. The next day, January 6th, he turns on the TV at her place. He sees all the things going down in the Capitol and says, I want to go there, and cuts their date short, bounces on her, and then goes to the Capitol, jumps through a window, gets on camera, gets arrested. So to me, that was basically him identifying on the first date his political affiliation, to which she was thank you. And then there was another situation where these two people matched on Bumble, and so the woman matches with this guy, so they clearly swiped on each other.
Yeah.
And so they're chatting, as you do on these apps, and he starts bragging, guess where I was on January 6th? So he's also identifying his political affiliation. He was I was here. He's sending her pictures of himself, crashing the Capitol. And finally she was no, thank you. And then called the FBI on him, and that's how he got arrested. That's the story. She called the FBI on him based on their dating over Bumble. So I don't know, if you were to ask those two women, they would be great, I'm so glad I found out about their political affiliation near the first date.
Got it.
And going back to Jennifer, I'm so glad I don't have to navigate that right now. That would be terrifying to me. Terrifying.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. We've got lots more discussion and debates on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. Don't forget to click like and subscribe.